Stock tip. Best stock setups.
Hi and welcome to this week's final episode of Stock Tip Daily Update with me, Marcel Todia. We had another positive day on the US markets here, with the Standard & Poor ending the day with plus 0.05%, and that's something to celebrate because at the end of the week we've managed to finish on top at the highest point actually. So if we do get another 1 or 2 weeks like this, then we will have reached our all-time high. So for me, it's something to celebrate, and especially because the markets managed to consolidate a bit here this last few couple of days. So I think these last 4 days were a consolidation phase, and today also, and we just managed to finish with a bit of strength and at a daily high, I would say. So S&P is looking great in the weekly chart, in the daily chart, in the intraday chart. It's looking very, very good. And with that on our minds, I think the strategy can remain the same, respectively 80-90% long, if you wish, 100% long for the time being, without any considerations. So you could still get the news that the war in Ukraine has made a nasty turn, but and this of course could turn the whole market upside down. But for the time being, just going forward with what we have now, with our technical analysis, I think the markets are looking very good. The Nasdaq has also finished with a very small hammer here, but still with a hammer, and this also looks like a bit of a consolidation here, following a couple of days up, and following in total, if we begin from here, in total then 13%. It isn't looking as strong as the S&P 500 is looking, but still it is a nice development here, and we did manage to finish the week above the moving averages here, including above the 200 moving average. And the weekly chart is also looking pretty strong here. You see here we are above the 50 moving average, above the 9 moving average, and we've pretty much closed at the 20 moving average. So it's also looking more positive in the weekly than it did 2 weeks ago, and with a bit of a luck, we have ourselves an ongoing rally here, and who knows where the stop is. The IVM has consolidated a bit, and it's good that it did so. You see here this 2 months sideways move here. So for 2 months now, the IVM has moved sideways, and we have ourselves now a nice horizontal breakout, or nice horizontal setup, and a breakout is in the cards, perhaps next week or so, and I would say this is a definite buy above 209. Then you would have a lot of upside. So the upside would be the I think 35, 36 here. This would be the upside, $36 for a risk of $6. So 1 to 6. This is a huge upside, and it couldn't look any better now at the end of this week's trading hours. And the German markets also managed to hold the line and managed to finish above the moving averages here. It's the consolidation we mostly needed here, so it's looking pretty bullish for the time being, and let's just see how it's developing going forward. Euro to US dollar, another sideways day, just like we expected. I think next week we are ready ready to resume our move down. It's bound to come. I'm pretty sure it's bound to come. So the next level down will be a move to 1.06. Pretty sure of it, but I have been wrong before. Then the oil sector The oil sector, like expected, is also moving a bit sideways, so it has shown more strength than I have anticipated. I'll give you that, but I still expect it to move a bit sideways and not to break out anytime soon. I do admit, though, that it's pretty unpredictable, and it might just happen that it continues to move up here, and that this is all the pullback we are going to see. But theoretically, I expected to go a level next level down here. In gold and silver are performing just like expected. So gold and silver are consolidating a bit longer. There might be another week in the cards, but by the looks of it, we've managed to end all weeks above the 9-week moving average. So I think if we get in the weekly chart, if you get a breakout above 184.3 or something like this, then I would gladly presume that the pullback in gold is done, and that gold is ready for the next level, and with the final potential being, or with the final upside being here, this range 260. So I think gold might just erupt again next week, and perhaps also silver. Silver did look pretty well this week also, but the volume was lacking. But I think next week might be the week we were waiting for, and if it comes, I think I'm also going to join in again on the action. Now, do we have anything more? No, we don't. Regarding my portfolio, AKTS was a bit of a disappointment here, as it went down before beneath my entry point. Then I decided to sell, to not accept a minus here, because almost all of the candle was negated here. As such, I don't like the ensuing pullback here. I think this has a bit too much strength here, and you also see the volume here is speaking for itself. There is too much selling pressure here, so I've parted ways with AKTS pretty soon in the beginning of the trading hours, and I've made perhaps $20 minus. So I defended my position pretty aggressively, and I'm happy with it. AMD, I think we could interpret this as a market bar and this as a inside candle, perhaps one or two more, and then AMD goes up and into the sky. And the same for Microsoft. So actually Microsoft ended with a big hammer here. The volume was a bit lacking, but overall good position. Nvidia also with an inside candle, but still very optimistic, and I did expect an inside candle after such a positive day, after that 10% day. You don't get too many of those, and after 10% in just one day, then a small consolidation, a couple of days or 2-3 days isn't a surprise. Okay, what I wanted to show you guys were two of our top setups here. CV is one of the setups of the week. I think this was a setup of the week in January, or the end of, or either in the mid of January or at the beginning of February, and it has finally broken out, and it has done this with a lot of style in managing plus 10% today. So the volume is perfect. The breakout is perfect with 10%. I think this is beyond expectations here. The very perfect, so absolutely perfect setup here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, and then a consolidation here of almost a month-long consolidation, and then you know that this a breakout is going to hold. Then the first target would be 77 here. I think 77 is a short thing, or 75. Let's go defensively and say 75, and I think it's pretty safe to take the next profits here, 75. So just wanted to share with you this powerful setup. And this powerful setup from the StockTip web page. Like I said, this was a setup of the week, and it has shown here a lot of style. Also, CRK. And pretty much the same story here. CRK managed a monster breakout here. So this was the breakout, this was the pullback, and then after this pullback, I think here was the point, or here was the point where I said this would be a buy above this trend line here, and since then it has again managed 35% in a week. Like I said, a monster setup, and this is also one of the stock tips, one of the top stock tip setups, and it has delivered like expected. So I was a big fan of CRK, but the market conditions weren't that great at the time, and actually, I think the most importantly, I missed out on this opportunity because of not paying attention at the right moment. Still, for those of you who have managed to buy in on this one, congrats. You clearly did the right thing here with plus 35% in one trading week. And let's just see what the next week brings us. But I still think there is still a bit of potential here, because the last move was pretty violent here, pretty wild, and this we could still see us reaching 16, so 15 or 16. I think this is still very plausible, and that would make for let's not go to the bottom. Let's start from here. This would make for plus 65% or plus 60% in a couple of days. So that's all for the free part of the video. If you want to see the whole video and the newest setups, then remember to like and subscribe, or more exactly to subscribe the StockTip website. You will find definitely more and more setups like these ones, which I'm introducing every day new setups, and every week more scans for you. So remember, take a look for yourself. Our website is doing pretty well at the moment. Well, that's all for today. I will be resuming the video with the next part, with the next scans here and the next setups.